Okay, day 16 of Japan. I spent the day mostly in Nara with a friend from Japan, and it was a super fun day with her and her mom. I found that it was very interesting to talk to like a Japanese adult, I guess, or someone who's older, someone who has had kids and everything. One of the main things that I mentioned in a previous vlog was how talking about family and trying to be proactive about the conversation was something I would try more of. And today was a chance to do that. And I'm glad that I did, because for me, I guess I've always had a history, a childhood of where I'm shy when it comes to talking to adults. I'm obviously an adult now, but in a way I still see people who are older as the real adults. I don't know if that makes sense, but part of that shyness still exists basically. But I was able to break through it and be proactive about asking those questions. And I managed to ask the first question I asked was where she lived when she was younger. And she mentioned it was Fukuoka, and how the people there were very honest, very open, and very straightforward. That's a reason she liked it there. And apparently the ramen there is super cheap. It's 500 yen or less and all that stuff. It was just a lot of fun facts and fun stories that she told, and eventually went to family and just conversations about her family, her siblings, and just conversations that made me feel like we were actually talking about something that mattered and that had substance. And I will say, for me, it was good practice for Japanese as well, and she was practicing English, so it was good for her too. But my Japanese was definitely way more broken than it normally is, since I guess the shyness really got to me. But I don't think the favorite part for me of that day was getting to talk to her, but it was mostly seeing my friend interact with her mom and just them talking in Japanese and everything. It's if you watch anime and you watch just Japanese shows in general, then yes, you will hear people speaking Japanese, but sometimes it's not an accurate depiction of real life. So getting to hear my friend talking to her mom, it's just it was very interesting. And I really enjoyed listening and seeing what I could make out, what could I understand. And oftentimes my friend would also translate sometimes what they were talking about. So it was a good way and a good test to see my listening and comprehension abilities. And they are definitely lacking right now. So it's good to be reminded how much there is to learn, because it's pretty fun to realize there's just so much to learn. But as for the events of the day, we primarily visited the areas around Nara Park, which I've been to before twice, so it was fun to revisit and also just see it during a different season. I will say it's much more beautiful during spring, but during winter it definitely has a different feel. I also visited two places that I wasn't familiar with, which was Naramachi, I believe that's what it was called, and there's also this area that's just this shopping street near the station that gets you back to Kyoto. Both were kind of near a big pond area. I gotta get better at remembering the names of things. But overall, it was the people that made this experience quite different, and I very much enjoyed it. So the takeaway from this lesson, or the lesson of the day, is that I definitely have a lot more to learn, and the more chances I can get to just listen to native speakers talk, the better. And that's it for this one. Catch you guys in the next one.